ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So this is a very instructive verse. As a devotees, we have given up so many material aspirations. Probably we would have got a very good job outside, earning thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees. We were able to understand that actually this material job, money I will earn by this, will not give me satisfaction. And thus we decided to give up our well-to-do job and take to Krishna consciousness. Probably many of us came from good family background where we had a high parentage, good janma, birth in aristocratic family. We have given up that also. Many of us had good friends outside in our college days, in our school days. And we had so much of attachment to our parents. It is said in the Vedic literatures, Janani Janma Bhumi Swargad Api Garishyasi. Very difficult to give up our mother and our motherland, Janma Bhumi and Janani. But by Krishna's grace, we understood that all these material relationships cannot actually satisfy us. So, we gave up good families, we gave up relationships, we gave up good jobs, our education, everything. Because we were able to understand nothing material can satisfy the soul, cannot satisfy the self. Whereas the people outside, they're running madly behind all these material, different positions, relationships, assets, and thinking that somehow or other, if they achieve what they are lacking materially, they will be satisfied. Poor man is thinking, if I get good money, if I can get 3 times food, if my position improves materially, that will satisfy me. When we are bachelors, we are thinking, when I have a relationship with a woman, when I get married, I will be satisfied. As a college students, we are thinking when we will have a bike, when we will have a good car, I will be satisfied. Isn't it? So materially we find people are hankering after varieties of material, either relationships or assets, material wealth, money, and thinking this will satisfy us. Unfortunately, this hunger, material hunger, is different from the food hunger which we get. The thirst and the hunger, if you eat food, you will become satisfied. Let us say you are very hungry and somebody serves you a very sumptuous food. After some time, even if that person comes to you 10 times, please take, you will not take, you will say, enough, satisfied. Similarly, when you are thirsty, you drink water, you quench your thirst, you feel satisfied. Your thirst is gone. But this material hunger, which is called hankering for material things, material sense enjoyment, this can never be satisfied. Never be satisfied. There is a very nice poem written by one of a great saint. He says that whole life I have served my senses. Whole life we serve our senses. Senses means the senses desire certain things in the material world, material satisfaction. The eyes desire beautiful forms. The nose desire something fragrant. The tongue desires something tasty. Like that, our varieties of different senses have different kinds of material hankerings, different material objects. Whole life also, if we serve them, they are never satisfied. They will never release us from that service anytime. Not that my lust, one day it will become satisfied and then I will be without any kind of agitation in mind. Probably when I get married, my lust will be satisfied. Or maybe when I become little old, my lust will be satisfied. No. Because body may become old, our desires do not become old. Our hankering does not go away. Just because my instrument, this body has changed, doesn't mean my karma has vanished. These desires are in our subconsciousness and they come out through our mind and we try to satisfy them through our senses. They are not satisfied. So, he says, it is not that I tell my senses that I have served you enough. Now give me retirement. Senses will never give you retirement. Whole life. Similarly, anything which is connected to this body and the senses, our first attachment is to this material body, and then we become attached to anything connected with this material body, and this is called the illusion of aham mameti, me and mine. And then we are thinking, if I can procure varieties of material objects for myself and for people connected with me, things connected with me, we will be satisfied. And the whole world is running behind that only. But still we find they don't get satisfied. And we can find here, one of the best examples is given here. Mother Sati had nothing to desire materially, because everything material was at her disposal. She is personified material energy. She is the one who gives all kinds of material, illusory happiness to the living entities. Moreover, she was born of a great king, Daksha, one of the greatest of kings, Prajapati. She was related to Lord Shiva, Mahadeva, who is the gods of the demigod, who is the leader of all the demigods. Even materially I am saying. Spiritually, of course, Lord Shiva is the greatest of the Vaishnavas. But here the material position of Sati is being explained very nicely. It's not talking about her spiritual situation. Materially, she was very dissatisfied in spite of getting the best of material facilities. See? Wife of greatest of the demigods, great personality, and daughter of greatest of the kings. Still she is not happy. Is this not a very important realization for all of us, that actually none of these material things will be able to satisfy the soul? What happens, as I was telling in the beginning, gross material objects we are able to give up very easily. Of course, that is also not very easy for most of the people. We are able to give up our relationship with our family, loving father, mother, brother, sister, our friends. We were able to give up our bank balance. Probably our parents, some of our parents must be having good wealth enough wherein we don't have to even work hard and we can get sufficient money. We have given up all those things. But isn't it wonderful that after we give up all these material assets, we come in Krishna consciousness and we are thinking probably good position in spiritual life will satisfy. One day, if I can become temple president, if I can become vice president, if I can become temple commander, is it not a lesson we can see that nothing material will satisfy? This is another illusion. One illusion somehow or other we have crossed over, gross things, crossed over. None of us may like to go back and do some job where I will earn lakhs of rupees. Isn't it? But Maya slowly enters in our hand. It does not leave us so easily. And that is where Rupa Goswami warns. Labha. some material profit out of devotional service. Puja, adoration, devotee should adore me. Pratishtha, distinction, isn't it? So we should understand, none of these things will satisfy any material position, because spiritual position is only one, servant of the Supreme Personality of God. And that to what servant? Servant of servant of servant of servant of servant. That position will satisfy. Temple president position will not satisfy. Temple commander position will not satisfy. Isn't it? All these positions will not satisfy. Our real position is Gopir Bhartur Padkamalyur Dasa Dasa Dasanu Dasa. That is actually our real position. That will satisfy us. Otherwise, none of these things will satisfy. If we can get this hint and understanding, why should I aspire when this will not satisfy me? Let us say after a few years you become temple president, or you become temple commander, or you are adored by devotees. Very good, very nice, very, learned devotee. You can recite verses and you can speak very nicely on Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and people like your lectures, everything. You have good number of followers, all these things. You should understand, still it will not satisfy the soul. It will never satisfy the self. Because after all, they are all material. So why should we endeavor? When even going to Swarga cannot satisfy. These are all petty things. What? Some 1 million followers you may get. Let us say, for example, you are a very good singer, and somehow your YouTube channel has become very popular, and maybe it is devotional songs only, and you have become very popular. And then we have a hankering to increase the number of followers more, little. Isn't it? We should think, what is it? Is it so big? Millions of population, is there 1 million follower? What is so great deal about that? Arjuna is saying to Krishna, my dear Lord, even if I get unrivaled kingdom in heaven, Indra's kingdom is rivaled, it is not unrivaled. Indra, somebody may say he is dissatisfied because so much rivalry is there, isn't it? So many people try to occupy the position of Indra. Indra is always in anxiety. Whenever somebody is doing tapasya, he is in anxiety. Arjuna is telling, forget about this position. Even if I get unrivaled kingdom in the heaven, not rivaled by anybody, still I feel it cannot satisfy me. We should learn that actually none of these things will satisfy the soul. Because this is not real position of the soul. It has nothing to do with the self. Any of these things. Followers and money and opulence and position. These are all not our position. Our position, real position is servant of the Lord. Artificially becoming enjoyer cannot satisfy the self. Until and unless the self becomes situated in its constitutional position, it can never satisfy the living entity. This we should be able to understand. Here is another example of sati. Nothing material, biggest position, still some dissatisfaction is there. Still some dissatisfaction is there. So much so, all devatas are thinking, what was she lacking? They are saying, my God, what has happened? Everybody would be envying her position. She is daughter of Daksha. She is wife of Lord Shiva, greatest of the demigods. All other devatas' wife and other devatas must be rivaling her position. And they are saying, my God, what has happened? She has given up her this body. What did she lack? Isn't it? So Prabhupada is pointing out, nothing material can satisfy. It's not possible. It's not talking about her spiritual situation. It is talking about her material situation, material relationship. This cannot satisfy the soul. And that is how in the Bhagavatam, in the very beginning, in the first canto itself, it explains Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje. The greatest occupation for the living entity, even in this material world. We may be thinking occupation as husband, occupation as a father, occupation as a brahmana, occupation as a kshatriya, various kinds of dharmas we have taken in this material world, isn't it? None of them can satisfy the soul. And only para dharma, these are all apara dharma. These are not para dharma. These are all belonging to the material body. Material body is born in Brahmana family. Soul is not born in Brahmana family. Soul may have a body which is born in Brahmana family. So all these are all material dharmas. But gradually they can take us to paradharma. That's the only thing. But otherwise that cannot satisfy the self. Thinking I am a Brahmana, I am a great Brahmana, you may be in Sattva Guna. You may be better materially situated than other people. But that cannot satisfy the self. Isn't it? Only paradharma can satisfy the self. And what is that? Savai pumsam. Savai pumsam means for all humanity. For all humanity. Savai pumsam. Parodharma. Transcendental occupation. What is that? Yato bhakti radhokshaje. Only if we are engaged in transcendental service of one who has nothing material. Adhokshaja means one who cannot be touched with anything material, above everything material. Only when we are engaged in his service, then the self can be satisfied. And what should be the quality of that service? Ahetuki. Not having some cause, my dear Lord, give me this, give me that. I am coming to you because I am having some suffering. Please remove that suffering. And apratihata, it cannot be obstructed by any material circumstances. Somebody may be poor, somebody may be rich, does not matter. Somebody is born in a family of Chandala, does not matter. No material circumstances can hamper devotional service. We should be confident of that. Not that, Prabhu, you have not given me laptop. It is obstructing my devotional service. No, devotional service cannot be obstructed by any material circumstances. We should understand that. So, further it says, if this service is rendered ahetuki and apratihata, it will completely satisfy all three. Yaya Atma, Prabhupada points out, Atma can mean body, Atma can mean mind, Atma can also mean the soul. It will satisfy all of them. It will satisfy the body, it will completely satisfy the mind, and it will satisfy ourselves, the soul. Before we end, I'll just read one. This was also the realization of Dhruva Maharaj. When finally he was able to see the Lord face to face and he was praying, he offered very beautiful prayers. So he was able to also realize nothing material actually can satisfy the self. And he repents that I was thinking I will be very happy if I get the position greater than even my grandfather. But actually even that cannot satisfy. So very beautiful prayer. He says, Nunam vimushta matayas tava mayayate ye tvam bhavapaya vimokshanam anya heto. Saying they are foolish people who are covered by your maya, by the influence of your maya, and they are worshipping you, who actually can liberate us from this material entanglement itself. Anya hetu, they are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead to get some material benefit. Archanti kalpakatarum, actually you are kalpataru. Kunapopa bhogyam, but this material bag, this body is called kunapa. They want to enjoy this material bag and they are asking you, they are worshipping you for that. And what is this material happiness? Icchanti yad sparshajam niryepi nirnam. This material happiness which comes from the touch of the senses, it is available even in hellish life. Even a dog, even a pig which is a hellish life, even he is enjoying this kind of happiness. And people are worshipping you for this kind of happiness. How much foolish they must be, he is saying. So Prabhupada says actually Dhruva Maharaj is repenting his own position. I'll read that. Persons who worship you simply for the sense gratification of this bag of skin are certainly influenced by your illusory energy. In spite of having you, who are like a desire tree, and are the cause of liberation from birth and death, foolish persons such as me desire benediction from you for sense gratification, which is available even for those who live in hellish condition. So in the purport, Prabhupada points this out. Dhruva Maharaj repented because he had come to the Lord to render devotional service for material profit. Same thing. He's saying people are worshipping you for some material profit, and he had also come for that. He here condemns his attitude. Only due to gross lack of knowledge does one worship the Lord for material profit or for sense gratification. The Lord is like a desire tree. Anyone can have whatever he desires from the Lord, but people in general do not know what kind of benediction they should ask from him. Happiness derived from the touch of skin or sensuous happiness is present in the life of hogs and dogs. So not this kind of happiness. Next, then he talks about the happiness derived from devotional service. Satisfaction which one can get from devotional service. Ya nirvritastanubhritam tava pada padma dhyanat bhavajjana katha shravanena vasyat sa brahmani swamahimani api nath mabhut kim tu antakashi lulitat patatam vimanat. My Lord, the transcendental bliss derived from meditating upon your lotus feet. So, devotees, they meditate, they're very attached to the lotus feet of the Lord. And just like Rupa Goswami says, it contains a nectar The lotus feet of the Lord is like the lotus, and our mind is like the bee which is always looking for that nectar. Isn't it? So that is what he is saying. The transcendental bliss derived from meditating upon your lotus feet or hearing about your glories from pure devotees is so unlimited that it is far beyond the stage of Brahmananda, wherein one thinks himself merged in the impersonal Brahman as one with the Supreme. Since Brahmananda is also defeated by the transcendental bliss derived from devotional service, what to speak of temporary blissfulness of elevating oneself to heavenly planets, which is ended by the separating sword of time. Although one may be elevated to the heavenly planet, he falls down in due course of time. It's like the example is given, Patatat Vimanat. When the fuel is over, that Vimana will come down. So our pious activities, when the result of that is over, we will once again fall down to different kinds of material suffering here. So this is a very instructive verse where we can see that actually nothing material can satisfy the soul. It's only the devotional service, uncontaminated, pure devotional service, without any material tinge, that will actually satisfy the soul. And as aspirants in devotional service, that should be our aspiration. Srila Prabhupada ki